Hello everyone and welcome on into another LEGO Marvel review on my channel. Today we are checking out set 71039, the LEGO Marvel Studios Series 2. But this video is just going to serve as basically the basic rundown of what is new with these series, as well as a more in-depth look at the figures, instead of just a 1-minute little clip. Now, the first major change with this new LEGO Marvel Series 2 blind bag series, I say blind bags with quotations, is because they're not in bags anymore, which is, pretty obvious by what I'm holding right here. These are the new boxes which the LEGO minifigure series will come in now. They are a cardboard box with a little back spot where the figure rests in. Now, of course, it is broken apart, it's not just built in there. And they are held together by this glue here, which brings me to my next point is, again, you can't start feeling with these. With the LEGO figures beforehand, they were in the plastic bags and you could feel for the certain parts in the series. For instance, if you were feeling for Beast, you could feel for his new hairpiece. But that is difficult with this, and that is why from now on it is very, very smart to invest into a pocket scale, which is what I have here. This is the Starfrit Mini High Definition Pocket Scale. This is very good with small items as it will pick up the exact weight and will work with all of them. Now, the only issue I have run into with these guys is main part is the weight. And that is because on every single box, the glue is distributed differently. And as you can see here, it is a thin, kind of big line going down the sides here, as well as there will be some at the top here, which isn't always the same for each box. Going over the average weight of each box, which is 8.6 grams, as well as these guys, which are 2.4 grams, and then the little cape boxes right here, which are 1.6 grams. I have the picture of the full-on chart up on my Instagram, so if you haven't seen that yet, I would go check it out. It seriously helped a lot, and it helped me finalizing the last figures I needed in my series. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the boxes. However, the bags were easier for kids, but this does stay with LEGO's theme of using boxes, which I do like. Of course, also inside the boxes, as I was talking about earlier, you do get this little pamphlet. Taking a look at the pamphlet here at the top, it is, again, in this long style, which in the series before, it was in a portrait style, not in the, landscape style, not portrait style, which I do like how it is in now the portrait style, which, opposed to the landscape style, you couldn't really make it fit with the rest of the characters. So, starting at the top, you have Agatha, then Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, Werewolf by Night, She-Hulk, Clint Barton, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Goliath, Echo, Beast, Storm, and Wolverine. But now that we've gotten the basic rundown out of the way, let's get on into the minifigures. Starting off with our first figure here, this is Agatha Harkness, and she is just amazing. We have been waiting for her to get since WandaVision came out, and I believe this is the WandaVision character, as she does have the Darkhold as an accessory as well. She comes with, I believe it is an all-new hairpiece, although it does look like the fitness trainer hairpiece, just this time in dark brown, but as you could see as I was wiggling it off there, it has more swivel. So we still don't know if it is a actual new mold, but nonetheless, she does also come with a brand new cape, which just has one hole at the top here, like most of the new capes have had. However, this one is a bit skinnier at the top and then comes out, which is really nice as you can fit the cape on there and not have it poof out of the sides a lot. And as you can see, all new face expression like they usually do with these minifigures, torso, and this time a dress printing there, which is really nice, which even goes onto the back there, if you can see there, which looks incredible. She also has a winking face as well as these two purple Power Blast pieces, which looks amazing. I just love how all these things that I incorporated into my first LEGO mock, which was a WandaVision mock, have now been integrated into this character, and it makes me so happy to see. Here is a better look at the back, torso, and dress printing. Honestly, it looks amazing. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect figure for her. And the average weight for Wanda is 21.8 grams. Of course, you probably won't have an issue finding her, as she is one of the clunkier minifigures and one of the more heavy ones in the series. Here is a closer look at the Darkhold with all new printing on the front. That is right, it is not a sticker, and even the inside is not a sticker with this printed 1x2 tile showing the Scarlet Witch scribe there. It looks amazing. Honestly, you could also use it for a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness piece there, and honestly just incredible. And returning, like all the other series, you get the hopper tile, which gives you the ability to pose them in an action stance. Next up, we have Moon Knight. Such an amazing figure. However, I have been kind of mad at him lately, as I've gotten 5 of the same minifigure, so stay tuned for this coming week, as I'm going to do something really fun with a Moon Knight that you guys get to decide, and I think that'll be just an amazing way for me to connect with you guys, and for you guys to decide what I do with the extra one of this guy I have. Nonetheless, though, he looks incredible. He comes with this all-new hood piece, which looks amazing with the crescent moon printed onto the front there. It is tipped in the back there, which is really nice. As well as you get this all-new face expression there, which is his hooded mask. You also get the crescent underneath there as well as the eyes are just white. And instead of black outlining, they do it in dark gray, which I think fits the character really, really well. And what's a really nice inclusion here is the inclusion of a possessed Mark Spector head on the back there, which I think looks incredible. They do not make it look like Oscar Isaac from his Poe Dameron character, and instead they actually use the more accurate skin tone as well as a more accurate face expression, which I really, really, really like. The torso and leg printing is also amazing. The legs are dual molded and have all these scribes printed on there, giving it the Egyptian look, which looks just amazing, as well as you get this amazing side arm and side leg printing there with some crescent moons there. And of course, as you've seen, speaking of crescent moons, you get his crescent moon daggers, which are also an all new piece there. Look amazing. You get 2 of them, as well as you get 2 of these scarabs, which are his other accessory. They are just a 1x1 flat round tile. You can see a bit of blue at the top there, and this is the scarab that leads to Amit's tomb. Returning is the cape, and instead of the one whole cape that they usually had last year, they have the 2 holes, which is a callback to the capes from before. And I really, really do like this, as it gives it a folding effect on the minifigure instead of just poofing out, which was a real issue with the other ones, as you will see in my video coming up later this week of the comparisons between this Marvel series and the later one. Back printing looks amazing with all the wraps, as well as just the wraps all around just look amazing. I think they just nailed it with Moon Knight. You also get an extra scarab, as you can see right here. There are 2 of them, and of course the hopper tile. Keeping with Moon Knight's theme, we have Mr. Knight, who is up next. Now, my only issue with this character is that he strikes me as more of a Lego set figure rather than a CMF figure, as his printing is overall really basic and he doesn't come with any new pieces. Now, they do give you a extra baton piece, which is really, really nice, and you can probably use it for some Daredevil characters or whatever you want, but the overall character is pretty bland, as it is just a base of white and not really any side printing or back printing, if you think about it. It would have been nice to get some cuffs on the arms, I think, as well as just overall maybe had him not in the series and maybe had Miss Marvel instead, as she was skipped out with this series. Another thing that I really would have liked to see is a extra head for Mark Spector or Stephen Grant, as I think that would have been really cool, as you could have used it on Moon Knight or Mr. Knight. Nonetheless, though, you do get the same treatment as Moon Knight with the dark gray printing there, which is really nice. The face expression is also really nice. Well, I guess not really the expression, but the mask itself is really cool. You also have the crescent up there with the beady white eyes. Along with Mr. Knight, you also get Gus the Fish in this fish tank, which is, I think, a really, really nice inclusion. Pretty basic, but I do think it was really smart to add. And with Mr. Knight, you get these 2 action poses pieces, so you can elevate him more and make him kicking like I have him right here. I forgot to add in Mr. Knight weighed in at 18.1 grams and Moon Knight weighed in at 19.2 grams. Next up is Werewolf by Night, one of the more basic characters in the series again. However, I will say about Werewolf by Night is that it was a really, really good inclusion in the series, as I didn't really see him getting in a set, as he is one of the Marvel Special Presentation characters, and overall the character wasn't too hyped up, and translated into Lego it is around the same thing. You do get this amazing new hairpiece though, which is a bit elevated on the head, I think. However, you do get the nice ears on the side there, as well as an all-new face print showing an angry expression, and of course Lego's signature happy expression, which makes no sense. But also, looking at the promo pictures for the Werewolf by Night in color, which comes out this October as a special kind of presentation for this, he has markings on the face, which is really weird how they didn't include it on him. Which is, I think, what he is missing and why I feel so weird about this character. Nonetheless, though, torso printing is amazing, as well as the legs, which are dual molded in this cool dark green, which are ripped, which I think looks really, really cool if you can see there. It all goes along the sides there, as well as you get the claws on the feet, which I think looks amazing, as well as the hair on the side there, which I think is just an amazing inclusion. The arms are a bit awkward, as you can see a bit of printing there, but it is disregarded as it takes up most of the arm. I think just a base of the reddish brown would have been better with some of that dark brown printing throughout of it. Of course, as an accessory, you also get the Bloodstone, which is a really cool accessory, and you do get 2 of them, as well as on the action stand I have it here, because I don't want to lose it. But overall, not a bad figure. Werewolf by Night did weigh 17.1 grams, so you are going to want to look around that weight. Next up is SheHulk, and wow, this character is amazing. Unlike the show, which flopped. But overall, I love this figure. We have gotten a SheHulk figure before, but this one is just 100 times better. You do keep the same hairpiece, which I do think is really nostalgic, and it works really good, as well as I used this hairpiece on my SheHulk display set, which I think just fits perfectly with her. The new face expression is amazing, with a happy expression here, or I guess a smirk, and a happier expression on the back. However, I would have liked to see a kind of growling face, as she kind of does have that like angry like grr face in the show. The torso printing as well as the leg printing is also amazing. I'll move the accessories here so you can get a closer look here. There is some arm printing there coming from the torso there, which I think looks amazing, as well as the leg printing is amazing. The shoes are printed on in dual molded, with the green showing through there, which I think is amazing, as well as you get all the purple detailing from the suit carrying on from the legs there and the torso there. It overall just looks amazing. Back torso printing is also really good and fits well with the overall design. As an accessory, you get this phone piece, which is a print of Wong calling, or I guess her calling Wong, or Wong calling her, which I think looks amazing. I believe this is the picture of Wong from the Infinity War set, just with the hairpiece on. Overall, looks amazing, and I couldn't have asked for a better accessory. But to make it even better, you do get this Emil Blonsky case file with the Abomination up there in the corner, which is amazing, and our first reference to Abomination in LEGO, if you don't count the LEGO games. And of course you have the lawyer firm down there. SheHulk also comes with these 2 action stand pieces, as well as she did weigh 18.8 grams. And if you guys have seen the chart, Beast weighs the same, so it is going to be hard to find those 2. Next up we have Hawkeye, and I think this figure is amazing too. Now, so I know I'm saying amazing to all of these, and that's because they are. They're the most printed, amazing minifigures that we've gotten from Marvel in such a long time, as they skip out on so much with their actual minifigures, if you've seen from my recent shorts. You get this all-new hairpiece in dark tan, as well as an all-new face expression showing a beat up side, as well as just a cheery side. And this, hands down, has to be our most accurate version of Hawkeye, as all the others kind of just miss by so much. The printing on the torso is also amazing, with the purple arrow insignia in the middle there, with all the gray and silver there lining the black torso, as well as the violet arms contrasting the black arms, which these are actually dual molded too and have printing on there, which I didn't think Hawkeye's suit had. He also comes with a black glove on this hand and just the regular light nougat hand over on this side. No leg printing, but I think it does work for him, as he is more of a basic figure, but it actually works for him. He also comes with an all-new bow piece, which I think looks really, really good. It is a bit clunky at the front, and Kate Bishop does use the same one, so I think he should have stuck with the combat bow, which I think he has used for the longest time, as that one works better, but this does still work. He also comes with a little owl, which is a nod to the finale of the show, where the owl picks up the Tracksuit Mafia's bus when he hits him with the pin particle arrow, and yeah, it looks amazing. Also, removing the head here, as you can see on the back here, you have a printed on quiver going with the quiver piece that is also included with him. It is also the same piece that Kate Bishop uses on her figure, but that is that should be known for, as you are getting 2 characters that both have bows. Hawkeye did weigh 17.8 grams, so if you are going to find him, you are going to get him mixed up with Moon Knight, I think, as well as you're going to get him mixed up with Beast, which I found to be an issue a lot of the time. Keeping with the Hawkeye tradition, here we have Kate Bishop, and I think it's another perfect minifigure. You get these amazing accessories like the pizza box as well as the bow, this time in brown. As you can see, it is the same bow as Clint's, as well as Lucky the pizza dog, which is such a cute inclusion, and I just loved it. It was so unneeded, but it's perfect. As you can see, you can also see that he is missing an eye, which I think is incredible attention to detail. You get the Barbara Gordon hairpiece on her in black, which I think looks amazing, as well as keeping with Hawkeye's tradition, you get a beat-up face as well as a smirking face, which I think looks amazing. I do prefer the beat-up face. I think all of them should honestly have some angry or determined faces, as in most cases when they are fighting, they're gonna look like that. The torso printing is phenomenal and actually is really close to my torso printing that I used on my Kate Bishop figure. You also get arm printing on this side, which is more of a hot pink or a neutral pink type of arm color, whereas this one is more of a magenta arm color. Now, I know they are different in the show, but I don't think they contrast that far. I know one arm is pink, but I think one arm is more purple, and I don't think the magenta does the glory for that. Or the pink, whichever arm is more purple. However, you do get this amazing leg printing as well, showing some purple straps right there, as well as this gray line sliding through to the right leg, which of course goes around to the side printing, and as you can see, there are arrows on the side of her leg, which she can of course grab if she needs extra. I think it just looks amazing. And it's, again, unneeded. You didn't need to include that, but there it is. As well as on this side, you just have a continuation of the straps as well as a holster on the side. I don't believe you will have an issue finding Kate Bishop, as she is 20.6 grams, and she is, I believe, the second heaviest character in the series. And she doesn't really contrast with any of these guys too much, so you probably won't have an issue finding her. Next up, we have Goliath, and this is from Ant-Man, or not Ant-Man, this is from What If Series 2. Or I guess Season 2. I'm getting series and season mixed up. And of course, we haven't seen this yet, so I am really excited to see how he acts and what part he plays in the second season. But just going off of the minifigure here, he looks really, really good. He's probably one of the most detailed figures in the series other than Moon Knight, and comes with this all new helmet print, which is of course printed onto the Ant-Man helmet, which is nothing new. As well as he comes with these two Ant-Man micro figures. As you can see, there's one on here as well as one here. They're nothing new though, so it's not really that special. But I just love this figure's detail. I love the armor printing, as well as the blue visor there. It's so sparkly and I think it looks really, really good. However, removing the helmet here, you get a look at the Bill Foster face print there, as well as he comes with the hairpiece, which is T'Challa's hairpiece, coming back from the first series and coming into the second series, which I think is amazing. You have his beard there, as well as an alternate face showing a happy expression, which again, I love how they gave him an angry expression and a happy expression. It fits so well. There's a closer look at the torso printing there with all the white, navy blue, black, and silver. I think it's an amazing color scheme. Not comic accurate, which I would have liked to seen, but hey, they gotta modify it, right? Again, another figure with arm printing, and as you can see throughout this character, there are little blue dots, which I think is the pin particles. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. Also, you can see that the gloves extend up here to the cuffs here, and as you can see, they're not all the way up there because, of course, the printing of the arm is in white. But you do get this belt there, which of course goes down into the legs there, which are both different. As you can see, you have a tube coming down from this side and going onto the side leg printing there, which looks really, really good, as well as you get the shoe detailing, as well as the knee pads. And on this side is just more of a boring, basic version of this leg. This was the last figure I needed in my series, and he weighed 17.6 grams. Next up is another character that we haven't seen yet, and this is Echo, and of course her show was delayed, and I would be coming out with a set later on based off of her show, but that will be coming out in January, just so you guys know. But this again is a really, really detailed minifigure. It comes with an all-new hairpiece, which is braided at the back and even has printing, which is something I never see with Lego figures. As you can see, there is a bit of blue as well as the dark red with some silver clips. You also get an angry expression, again with a happy expression on the back, or a smirking expression, depends on what you want to call it, which again I think is just amazing, as well as this traditional First Nations attire. I love the dark red as well as the blue and the gold. It looks incredible. As well as I think it'll fit well with the new What If episode. What if the Tesseract fell on the Haudenosaunee Confederation? I think that's why... I don't know. I think that's why they maybe input this character, as they didn't want to do that one because nobody really knows that character. But overall, this character is just amazing. You get this all new arm printing there with some gold as well as dark red with the medium nougat underneath. It is the same on both sides, and you do get this club accessory. I think it's a club at least. Nobody is really sure what it is though. The leg printing is also amazing with this new prosthetic leg mold, which is another just amazing inclusion on this set, as well as you get printing that goes on into it, which looks amazing. Again, keeping with the red and gold color scheme. As well as you get the side leg printing, which is cut off on this side. However, you do get a continuation of it on this side. As well as extra pieces, you do get these 2 pieces from her club in case the other 2 go missing. Echo did weigh 17.4 grams, just in case you were wondering. And now going into our final group of characters, we have the X-Men. And starting off the X-Men group, we of course have Beast. And now taking Beast off the stand here, he actually looks really good. However, he comes up with the same problem as Mr. Knight, and that is that he seems more of a Lego set figure rather than a CMF figure, as we are getting the X-Jet in a couple months actually. He just doesn't live up to the figures that we're going to be checking out later. Now, of course, he does come with this amazing new hairpiece, which is dual molded and has a little curl of hair at the front, which I think looks really, really good. But overall, not too exciting. He's still a really good character, don't get me wrong. Like, we haven't gotten X-Men in so many years. The printing, though, I say that is just because no arm or side leg printing, which Werewolf by Night has. And they're 2 very similar characters if you think about it. So they could have done the same thing there. That's why I don't think he really fits into the series. However, nonetheless, he does come with this X-Men mug, which I think looks amazing, as well as he comes with this lab piece, which is just 5 little pieces built together. And actually, it is quite simple. And you do get 3 of those extra pieces here, if I can grab them quickly. Right here, you get this piece, as well as all of those. As you can see, that green one fell. You also get an extra binocular piece and this green little flat tile there. I don't know where these go in there. There's one of them. Yeah, overall, a pretty good character. The back torso printing is really good with all the fur there. I think that easily the fur detailing right there could have also been adapted onto the arms and the side of legs. You have the claws, of course, right down there, as well as you have this face print with glasses, which I think looks really, really good. And flipping around the head, you get this angry expression, which looks really good as well. And now Beast did end up weighing the same amount as She-Hulk, that being 18.8 grams. And our second to last figure here, we have Storm, also part of the X-Men character bunch, and overall this character is actually really good. Now, one thing I didn't bring up with Beast is how these characters are cartoon characters from the 90s to early 2000s, so they aren't going to have as much detailing as, say, She-Hulk, who came out last year. But nonetheless, though, transported into Lego, you still get that amazing modern look, but it just overall just transports so well. I love it. I can't wait for the X-Jet. It's going to have so many new X-Men characters that I think are going to get the same love. Like, again, with Storm, she works really well as a CMF figure because of this hair piece right here. Look at it. It is an all-new mohawk in white. I think it looks incredible. As well as this cape, which goes underneath these white pauldrons here that she has and attaches to the arms. I think it looks amazing. The torso printing also incredible with the red and the yellow straps going around there with the X-Men logos up there. Back printing, not too busy, like your normal Lego back torso printing. And then she also comes with these electric bolts of yellow lightning, which is really cool. Also, her face is amazing. You get these shiny blue eyes, which I think is the same color as the visor that Goliath has. Honestly, I love it. Leg printing, pretty simple. Nothing on the sides, although you don't really need it with Storm, as she does have the cape covering up most of it. And honestly, I think she just looks really, really good. And of course, for those of you wondering, she was 19.5 grams, so go around that area. Also, if you guys have stuck around for this long, for these characters, if you want to find the exact one, you are going to want to go either 2 below, 2 above, or the one that I put on the list, because usually that's when the boxes will be varying. Now, I know that doesn't work with some characters, like Moon Knight or She-Hulk. But I mean, hey, either way, if you're new to this, get the ones that have the specific weights and then figure it out on your own which ones are which. Because I went through maybe 6 extra minifigures, and then I finally got the full series. And finally, the big name in the X-Men, we of course have Wolverine. And if you've seen my short, if you're coming in from the short that I posted a while ago, you will know that I did not rate him yet, and that will finally be at the end of this. Honestly, I love this Wolverine. We got one earlier in the year, although he used orangish yellow. And this one uses the yellow color scheme, which I love. He's returning with his cowl from 2014, which looks amazing. You also get another new face print underneath here with the goggles and an angry expression. I feel like this is what She-Hulk should have had on the other side of her face, like kind of like a gnarling expression. I said that when I reviewed her, but on the back you also get a neutral expression from him. You also get this hairpiece, which is really nice. It is the Magneto hairpiece. I don't know why my camera's not focusing anymore. I like the idea of this one. I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea of this one. However, I tested it out with the other Wolverine figure, and that one worked out really better. That's terrible. Anyways, it worked out better than with this one. I feel like the chops are just a bit weird, and then the stubble down there doesn't really fit. So that's why I usually keep the cowl on. But overall, really solid figure so far. You got new torso printing, new leg printing, which is dual molded. You also get the boots, which is really good. One thing that we were complaining with was with the newest, well, I guess not the newest, the one that came in the mech armor, was that the lack of blue. There was only one part of blue. I think it was on the torso. And now that we're finally getting it is amazing. You also get the his hair on his arm, which is a really big staple of the Wolverine character, as well as you get an extra claw with these other 2 claws, which of course also ends up in the sets, which is really nice how they kind of brought it into here. As well as with your Wolverine, you get a Sentinel head, which looks really, really cool. I love how they have the slashes through the one eye, as well as just all the detailing. I feel like it is more detailed than what is in the actual show. You also get the red eye underneath there. It looks amazing. It was rumored that we were going to be able to build one. However, I guess that is not the case. It would have been really cool, though. So overall, guys, I give Wolverine a 9 out of 10. But there you guys have it. That is all 12 minifigures in the LEGO Marvel Minifigures Series 2. I cannot wait till Series 3 comes out, whenever that is, probably another 2 years. Honestly, we waited for this one as long as we could. We got some amazing sets throughout the year, too, to lead up to that, and honestly, this year's slate of sets is really, really nice. Honestly, the selection of minifigures is really, really good, and later this week, we will go through which series is better. I know that is a big debate right now with this series, and I already have a couple ideas on how to figure out which series is better. Obviously, you have the Moon Knight section, the Hawkeye section, and then the X-Men section. Love it all. You also get some unreleased suits, which I think looks really, really good as we get an up-close look to what these figures are going to be looking like. Also, for my Echo minifigure set, display set, whenever Echo comes out, whenever the finale releases, I will probably be using this printing and all that. I probably won't have all the new pieces out yet, but just a disclaimer, yes, it will be that same character. But guys, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for waiting this long. I know it has been a while. Anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed, please make sure that you are subscribed, as it helps me know what you guys like to see, as well as it pushes me out to a lot more people who might enjoy my content. Guys, stay tuned for this week because I got a lot more videos coming up. Anyway, guys, thanks.